have to get this right. If you get this right, who knows? They may hire you. So please. Very well. Okay.
Oh man, the pressure. Okay, so my pick is, I'm gonna preface it by saying it's also dependent on, because of the recent trade. So they just got Mac Bello. Okay, so a guy like Alvin Pasaol would be available at this pick. He's very interesting, but now they're pretty much set at that three spot, which is Alain Maliksi and Mac Bello. So they have a really good lineup. They have a lot of guards who are very good. They have big guys, but I think one with, if you're considering that Papa Ray is gonna retire soon, hopefully not, but he's getting up there in age. They kind of need like a replacement, and this might be a reach for everyone, but I kind of like Ben Adamos. Okay, right. So Muyang still available, Pasol still available, but I'm gonna pick Ben Adamos. I just watched a couple of his games yesterday, and the improvement that he's made from the NCAA to the MPBL is tremendous. All of a sudden, he's running the floor hard. He's jumping up in air and grabbing rebounds in traffic. He can play the 4 or the 5. His outside shot still needs some work, but he's got the touch. So if he's learning from Reynald Hugnatan, that might be like a good comparison for him in terms of long-term growth. So I think he can come in and contribute that backup 4 spot after Cliff Hodge. So now your big man rotation is going to be Hodge, Almasan, Baclao. Then you have Toto Jose. I mean, they have a lot of big guys. Yeah. But I think Ben can come in and contribute right away.
That position is something that Meralco has been looking for a while. They've sort of bigs. That's a nice pick, Coach Pao, I think. Obviously, you know more about the two guys you were choosing from, Muyang and Adamas, having seen them first up, going up against them in the NCAA. But kayo, Carlo, Randolph, Anton, did you actually think that Adamas would be better than Muyang, a better pick than Muyang? You can object. It's okay. No hard feelings.
Personally, I like Muyang's game a little bit more than I like Adamos's, but depende na sa taste yan eh. I mean, they're, in terms of just their ceiling, it's pretty much the same. Yeah. So if Coach Pao thinks he's a better fit for Meralco, I can't disagree with it.
I like that. That's great. Okay. Randolph, you're up again. You are picking for Phoenix.
For Phoenix, no. Don't worry, Coach Pao. You don't need to have much problem dun sa next pick mo. Kasi I think whatever I pick here will make more sense para sa pick mo come 11. At Phoenix, pinag-uusapan natin yung needs. Late first, dyan na papasok kung sino yung kailangan mo. But it's really too hard to pass up at 10 for me yung Alvin Pasaol. Yeah. It would be really interesting for me to see him play in Phoenix with Calvin Abueva, Matthew Wright, Justin Chua, and ito si Jason Perkins. And that opens up a lot of possibilities. I would dare see Matthew Wright play at 1 and then still have Pasaol, Abueva, and the other guys there. And ito, ang laking bagay para sa Phoenix ito kasi it helps them pagdating dun sa scoring. And Coach Anton would attest na aside from the 49-point explosion, Alvin has developed a lot sa 3x3. He has learned to play as an undersized big man and has improved his defense and yung kanyang passing during dun sa 3x3 traverse niya. So it would really be a steal for Phoenix if bumagsak si Alvin Pasaol sa kanila.
Oh, that's interesting. No? They'd be the swaggiest team for sure.
Yeah. Daming team na maiinis dyan for sure.
Marami, no? But my only question with Pasaol is, and maybe Coach Anton would know this because he's seen him more. From seeing him last play in UE to his body size now, he grew a lot. Like, got heavier, right? Is that accurate?
Yeah. Well, ano siya eh. Baga parang James Harden yan eh. Minsan, pumayat, tumaba, hindi mo, may ganun eh. Yeah.
You think the weight the weight that he has would be a problem for him in the PBA if he were to maintain that, Carlo?
I would have to say that kailangan niya munang i-determine what kind of player he wants to be. Maybe with the help of his coaches. Just determine what kind of player you want to be and then decide kung what would be more helpful for you. At his height, alam naman natin yung height niya pang shooting guard in the PBA. But He's playing with more heft, so he can play as a 3 sometimes. Maybe in the UAAP he played a 4 sometimes. It's all about determining kung ano yung kailangan niya.
Okay.
So if he needs to add more, like what Bo Belga did to be able to play as a 5, and then that's what you do. Pero it's up to him and his team kung ano yung kailangan nila maging.
Okay, let's move on to the 11th pick. Coach Paulo, you have Northport.
I think this is an easy pick in the sense that I did not expect Larry Muyang to drop all the way to number 11. So even though they have Christian Sanhardinger, I would still get Larry Muyang. It's hard to get bigs with a lot of size. So you still have, when everything's back to normal, you're still going to have 2 import conferences. So now Christian won't be getting banged up guarding the import all the time. So now you have a Larry Muyang, who has a nice post game also. I think he'll learn a lot from Coach Pido. And he'll also learn a lot from Christian. And hopefully he can learn something and gain about the activity from Christian. I think that's more of his right now. Something he needs to work on is his fitness and being able to move. But you can't replace the size that he'll provide, which is really important for a PBA team.
And the Letran connection of the staff of Northport and Muyang would probably make it easier for him. No? Muyang is a beast. I mean, he was a big part of that championship team. So, okay, that makes sense. Now, for the final pick of our first round, obviously the fan favorite team. Carlo, who do you have?
It's a tough one. You could go many ways with here. You can get someone like Troy Reich to add more ceiling, but they just signed Greg Slaughter to a new contract. So para sa akin, I would think like Coach Tim Cone and just decide on what kind of player he likes picking. He likes size.
By the way, I'm gonna interrupt you. He watches our show, guys. To all our viewers, I'm making that up, but he may just listen to us. So get it right.
Ako just going to the usuals nitong si Coach Tim. He likes players who have size, who are versatile. We also what he did with Arvin Tolentino, how he was able to shine in his first year. I'm picking William Navarro of Ateneo. I think he has good size. He has smarts playing for Ateneo and Coach Tab Baldwin. Really good potential for the kid. I think he will shine under the system nitong si Coach Tim.
Wow. Okay. What do you guys think about that? Any objections?
You know, it's interesting because who's the one player who's always played for Coach Tim, like on all the teams that he's coached?
Joe Devance.
Who might be a player comparison for William Navarro? Lefty, tall, point forward type.
He's not a lefty. Is he a lefty?
I think isn't he lefty or righty? I don't know.
Right, man. He finished as well with both.
Okay.
What? It's true. He, except for maybe playing with his back to the basket, but I think maybe outside up on top, he may have better handles than Joe. I don't know, but yeah, it's an interesting pick. Ooh. So were you guys surprised with any of the picks? I mean, just looking at the board now that amongst each other, was there any surprise pick for you if you had to pick one? Coach Anton, I'll start with you before we go to the second round.
I think all the picks okay. Problema, I think I'm surprised na wala si Troy Reich sa first round. Yun lang. That's just my And also another name na wala pa sa first round, I think, is Brandon Rosser. Okay. So those two, para medyo, I'm surprised na wala sila sa first round.
Okay.
But
yung surprise ko more of how Alvin Pasaol and Larry Muyang fell actually. Parang I was imagining them, I was imagining they would end up higher. I thought Pasaol would be picked in the top 6. But then again, pag ina-explain mo yung need ng teams, naiintindihan mo why not, why they couldn't get him at that spot. But again, I mean, this is just all up for discussion para lang naman ma-present natin lahat ng possibilities in the upcoming draft.
Actually, kay Pasaol, I don't know if naging factor because nga, well, I don't mean this any offense to 3x3, but he's been playing there for a while. I think people forget how great he was, especially playing for UE. I mean, kay Munzon, medyo given yun. Santi, kulang yung big. So, kaya, yun. But I don't know if that was a factor. Coach Pao, any surprise picks here?
I was a little surprised with Anton's Jason Brickman. But not to take anything away from Jason. I think he's a great player. But most of the names that you would think at the number 2, maybe a Malonzo or a Mikey Williams. But you can't go wrong with Jason Brickman. He's a great point guard.
Okay. Randolph, who do you... Any surprise?
I think yung surprise lang sa akin would be yung how Mikey Williams moved up to 3, knowing na the public hasn't seen much of him. But I defer to Coach Pau. Coach niya siya, and I expect you to know his game more. Another surprise sa akin would be Taylor Statham leapfrogging itong si Ben Adamos and Larry Muyang among the top bigs. Again, we're not discounting yung papers and any documentations dyan. But ako personally, I feel Larry and Ben are one of the sturdiest undersized bigs that we have in this school. And with 1 or 2 inch difference na lamang ni Statham sa kanila, I don't think that's really much of a difference.
Bad pick daw, Coach Anton.
Lagot ka kay Taylor.